Hey, girlfriend. Welcome back to the Girlfriend's Girlfriend podcast, where we talk about life, growth, faith, and the real stuff in between. Because guess what? Every girl needs a friend and girlfriend. Before we dive in, let me acknowledge the obvious. It's been a while. The last time we sat down together was in February, and my plan was to bring this episode back in April. Well, April came and went, then May, then somehow June showed up and started packing its bags too. Honey, it is out of here, okay, this week. So life has definitely happened. There were some lessons I needed to live before I could talk about them. There was a relationship that ended. There were moments where I found myself helping someone navigate a difficult season. There were decisions about my future, my home, and what contentment really looks like. And somewhere in all of that, God was teaching me things I couldn't have learned from a book, a podcast, or a quote on social media. He was teaching me in real time. So today's episode isn't just what I planned to say in April, it's what life added to the lesson. Today's episode is a little reflective for me. Life has been teaching me some powerful lessons lately, lessons about peace, lessons about circles, and surprisingly, lessons about my own body. And the more I've been thinking about these things, the more I realize that they're all connected. Because when your peace is off, it usually has something to do with the circles you're in or the circles you've allowed around you. And sometimes life brings you back around to the same lessons until you finally see them clearly. The earth is round, and sometimes life feels the same way, like you're moving in circles. But here's the thing I'm learning. Even when life moves in circles, we still control how fast we spend. Peace, circles, and my body. What I learned. Stay tuned.
It's your go-to place for guidance. Step inside, see how good the vibe is. It's a girl talk and you're all invited, cause every girl needs a girlfriend. Go-to place for guidance. Step inside, see how good the vibe is. It's a girl talk and you're all invited, cause every girl needs a girlfriend.
The lesson of circles. One thing I've been realizing lately is how much energy we sometimes spend trying to control people, control situations, or control how a story ends. And while we're doing all that spinning, reacting, and trying to make things make sense, we feel like we're moving forward. But sometimes when everything settles down, when the emotions cool off and the dust clears, when all the smoke clears, sometimes we realize we didn't move anywhere at all. We're standing in the same place we started, and that's where awareness kicks in. In fact, one of the biggest lessons I've learned since February came through a long distance relationship. And before anyone starts clutching their pearls, no, it wasn't the distance that broke us up. It wasn't that they worked a lot, because guess what? Life is busy, and I understand that. What I learned was that communication creates safety. When communication is consistent, honest, and intentional, it gives a relationship room to breathe. But when communication is missing, uncertainty starts filling in the blanks. For me, that uncertainty showed up as anxiety, and eventually I realized something important. You shouldn't have to constantly teach someone how to communicate with you. You can explain your needs, you can express your concerns, but at some point, people show you who they are, through their actions and their words. What changed everything for me wasn't necessarily what was done, it was what was said after distance entered the picture. And in that moment, I realized I had information I couldn't ignore. Not because I was angry, not because I wanted revenge, but because awareness had arrived. And awareness always asks a question. Now that you know, what are you going to do? That's when you start asking yourself questions like, what am I learning here? What circle am I actually in? And do I need to change my position in this situation? Life places us in a lot of different circles, friendship circles, work circles, family circles, relationship circles, and even the circle we have with ourselves. And one thing I'm learning in this season of my life is that not every circle deserves the same level of access to me. We really have to protect our energy. We have to protect, for me, I had to protect that anxiety. I realized that this relationship was causing me more anxiety than anything because, sometimes people can say, oh, you can talk to me about anything, but I know I can't talk to you about anything because if I talk to you about what I really want to talk to you about, I know that will open Pandora's box, and things will be said, things will be, taken out of context or out of place. And I felt like I really couldn't be me and really say what I wanted to say. And as much as I tried to say what I needed to be said, or, hey, let's do this, I felt like I was the one being intentional, the one, coming up with things to say, or starting conversations. And it just got to the point to where it was just a little too much. And I was overthinking things. And should it be like this? Or I know I've been in relationships before and I never had, never felt like this, or wasn't pushed to anxiety, to my anxiety limit this much, wondering if it's me, am I, I know what it is to have someone interested in you, and I don't see you showing those signs. It was just so much, and I just had to let it go. And I'd rather leave, and just, hey, whatever you want to say. Chrisette Michele has a song, and it's old, but it's one of my favorite songs by her, and it's called Blame It On Me, Say It's My Fault. You can say anything you want about me, say I left when things got hard, or whatever you want to say, but as long as I'm at a place of peace, as long as my anxiety levels are leveled. I mean, I have a lot of other stuff going on, but this is one thing that I don't have to worry about. And I just had to get to that place to where, I'm like, okay, and Maya Angelou said it best. When a person shows you who they are, you have to believe them. Sometimes we stay in things because we want to see it through, or, oh, maybe they'll change, or, oh, maybe this will be different, or maybe if I did this, things will be. No, sometimes you just really need to look at it for what it is. It's not going to change. This is who they are, and you're going to have to make a choice. Either you want to stay or you want to go, but it's not going to get no better than this. So what is it that you want to do? And if it's not feeding you, then you definitely need to get out of it. And so that's what I had to come to grips with over a year and a half of dating, and you get to this point. And so it was hard, and I'm still grappling with it, but I'm at myself. I'm at peace. I know what I want. Not to say that I don't think about them, but I feel like I'm at a good place. And so I had to come to that knowledge, and I have to be okay with it and move on. So that was, the relationship. And then, we get into these things with friendships. So there was a moment in my life that really made me start thinking about, circles and access, and that relationship really made me think about it. But not only did this relationship end, but a year ago, a friendship ended that I truly, truly adored, that I enjoyed. So I had a friend, and it wasn't just a casual friend. This was someone I talked to for hours, someone I shared my life with. We laughed together, we cried together, and I truly believed we knew everything about each other. But then something started happening that caught my attention. I would get on social media and see major things happening in their life that I had never heard about. Things like, them going back to school, making big life purchases, moving forward in ways that were important to them. And I remember thinking to myself, wait, we just talked yesterday. Like, how did I not know about this? And slowly it started to click. I realized I wasn't in the circle I thought I was in. And if I'm being honest, the first emotion I felt was hurt. Not anger, not jealousy, hurt. Because when you share your life with someone, you naturally believe there's a certain closeness there. And at the time, the way I handled it was simple. I just cut them off, but later God started showing me something deeper about that moment. Sometimes situations like that, aren't meant to make you bitter. They're meant to make you aware of where you stand, and aware of what circle, you're really in. So since we're talking about awareness, let's talk about awareness and access. So what I learned is that awareness protects your peace. It's not about treating people badly. It's not about becoming cold. It's about understanding the role someone plays in your life and responding accordingly. Sometimes the answer isn't cutting people off. And I'm being so honest and very transparent. I am so good at that. Like, I literally have an A+, in that class of cutting people off. I have an A+ in that class, and I've maintained an A+ in that class for years. But I'm realizing the older I'm getting is that it's not always about cutting people off. Sometimes we're so quick to do that. It's like, and there comes a time in life where you do have to do that. It's just go straight for the cutoff, but not every time. So sometimes the answer is simply moving them from all access to general admission. I've seen where, and I've never done this, but you have certain celebrities, if you go and see them, if you pay a certain amount of money, you get to take a picture with them, you get certain merch, you get, there's access that you get because you paid a higher price than those that just paid the regular price that just to get in and get a seat. And it may not even be a good seat, to where you can really see the show like you want to, but it's just a general admission just to get in, just to say, hey, we went. But then there are other people that take a step further and they pay that extra money. Sometimes it could be like $1,000 or more just to get that VIP, experience. So they get, all access. So when it comes to cutting people off, like I said, there comes a time where you will do that, but not every time. And again, sometimes the answer is simply moving them from all access to general admission. When you understand the circle someone actually occupies in your life, you stop forcing a deeper connection that isn't really there. And that realization alone can bring a lot of peace. Another lesson I've learned during this break is that sometimes God allows us to sit in places we were trying to leave. For a while, I focused on home ownership. And let me be clear, I haven't given up on that dream. I still believe it can happen, but God began showing me something. Sometimes we're so focused on what's next that we never fully appreciate where we are. This year marks 2 years in my apartment, and somewhere along the way, I realized I've spent more time thinking about leaving than appreciating the blessing of having a place to call home. Contentment doesn't mean giving up on your goals. It means being grateful while you're working toward them. It means learning to bloom where you're planted. It means saying, God, if this is where I am right now, help me steward it well while I prepare for what's next. And honestly, that realization brought me more peace, than I expected. And so I'm so grateful for that. So you have to get to the point to where you say the I choose moment, and I had to get to that place in this season that I'm in. I was at this place one time before in my life years ago. There was a song that really helped me shape my confidence during a season when I was learning who I was becoming. And that song was I Choose by India Ari. She's one of my favorite artists. And that message stayed with me because life really does come down to choices. Choosing peace, choosing growth, choosing how you respond, choosing the type of love you accept, okay, and choosing how much access people have to your life. Now let's get to my body, honey. Ooh, Lord. The body, all right, and the GLP-1 reflection. Another circle, okay, we sometimes forget about is the one we have with our own body. And recently, I started a GLP-1 journey, and I'll be honest, that decision made me reflect on a lot of things, not just about weight, but about how we treat our bodies in general. Because sometimes we compare our bodies to other people's bodies, right? We see someone who can go to the gym, eat right, get disciplined, and shed weight naturally, and we assume that she'll work the same for everyone. But the truth is, everybody is not created the same. Some people are dealing with hormonal imbalances. Some people are dealing with metabolism issues. Some people are dealing with stress or health conditions we can't see. And what God showed me is this. Sometimes people just need a little help. And that's okay. There is no one size fits all when it comes to our bodies. You must do what is best for you. Pray about your decisions. And if prayer isn't someone's cup of mojo, okay, if it's not yours, then talk to a trusted friend or a counselor, someone who can help you process how you feel, because your body deserves care, okay, not comparison. And I must say, though, that I haven't seen much weight loss since I've been on this. It has helped my A1C levels because I was pre-diabetic. So I thank God for that. But as far as the weight, I haven't lost much weight. I also haven't gone up in my dosage either. I've been on it for a couple of months now, since February, and I've lost a few pounds, but not overly, 50 pounds in 6 months. Nothing like that. It's been 3 pounds here, 2 pounds there, sometimes no pounds. So, and as far as if it helps you with your appetite control, I had somebody ask me that the other day. I feel like my appetite, at one time I felt really sick on it. But I feel like things are mellowing out or have mellowed out, and my appetite has been okay, but it has definitely not helped my sweet tooth. I still have that. I feel like if I go up in the dosage, though, that may help that, but I'm a little hesitant about going up in a dosage of something too fast. I really want to give my body time to adjust to what's being given it, and just kind of slowly just move your way up. So so it's still a journey. It's still something that I am testing and going through, and look, it is what it is. But hopefully you got something out of this podcast. I do want to leave you, though, with 4 takeaways. And here are 4 things life has been teaching me lately, and it might help you. Number 1, everyone doesn't deserve front row access to your life. Okay, everybody doesn't deserve that VIP that VIP experience. Get to know people, for who they really are. And I'm talking about really get to know them, talk to them. And sometimes getting to know somebody takes more than just a phone call, once a week. I mean, you really have to take the time to really get to know them, listen to their conversations, spend time with them, and see if y'all even vibe like that. So, and then you might realize sometimes we give people that VIP experience so fast, and then we realize things afterwards, and then we hate that we gave them that experience. So let everybody be general admission, and then you decide who you want to give that VIP experience to. So everyone doesn't deserve that front row access to your life. Number 2, awareness is not about judging people. It's about protecting your peace. So when you become aware of something, just like I became aware of certain things in that relationship, and I'm not judging, them at all. They are who they are, but I did have to do some things to protect my peace once, it came to my attention of, okay, this is what I really need. I've communicated that need. I'm not getting that need. So therefore, I'm going to move myself out of this space so I can get to my peace. And so it's not about judging people. It's just about protecting your peace. Number 3, your body deserves the same kindness you give other people. So whether you decide to take a GLP-1 journey or you are on a GLP-1 journey, maybe you think that's the easy way out and girl, you silly and all this, whatever. Everybody's body is different. So like I said, some people are dealing with way more things than you might realize. And, and we should just give everybody a little grace and enjoy your body. Do what's best for you. Do research, but do what's best for you. And number 4, contentment and ambition can exist in the same room. Contentment and ambition can exist in the same room. So you can be content and be ambitious at the same time, okay? One does not have to compete with the other. You can be grateful for where you are and still believe God for more, okay? So those two things don't cancel each other out. And here's the wisdom life has been teaching me lately. Wisdom isn't always cutting people off. Okay, sometimes it's simply adjusting their access. All right, so that's your little wisdom moment. Now let's go into a word of prayer. God, thank you for the lessons that come through life experiences. Help us grow in wisdom and awareness so we can protect our peace and build healthy circles around us. Teach us to love ourselves well, take care of our bodies, and trust the process of becoming who you created us to be. In Jesus' name, amen. And girlfriend, before I go, I want to share something with you. After today's episode, I'm going to take a little more time away, not because anything is wrong, not because I'm quitting, but because sometimes life requires us to pause, reflect, regroup, and live a little before we have something meaningful to say. So I've learned that every season isn't a microphone season, okay? Some seasons are listening seasons, some seasons are healing seasons, and some seasons are learning seasons. And I believe that's what this season has been for me. So I'll be back in October, hopefully with a few more lessons, a little more wisdom, and definitely a few more stories to share. However, I am going to be working on my YouTube channel, the Set Apart Stories YouTube channel. If you have not checked that out, please go and do it. Got a couple of children's stories over there, but this one that God is blessing me to work on, it's not going to be about animals. It's going to be about a little girl. So that should be posted sometime before back to school starts. So just be on the lookout for that. Set Apart Stories over there on YouTube. So until then, until October, keep growing, keep trusting God, protect your peace, guard your circles, and take care of the body God gave you. But most of all, Keep becoming the woman or the man he's calling you to be. Until our next chat, this girlfriend's out. Peace. Thanks for joining today's Girlfriend's Girlfriend podcast outing. I hope our chat brought you comfort and a new perspective. Listen, if you got a question, don't forget you can text the show or email me at inspirationswithroshonda@gmail.com, and it might be featured in an upcoming episode. Remember, every girl needs a friend, and I'm here for advice, a laugh, or just to listen. Stay connected by subscribing, and you'll never miss a new episode. Until our next chat, this girlfriend's out. Peace.